If you've been watching my content, you know I've been kind of just anticipating the potential throwback for Ethereum to this massive multi-year triangle. In this video, as we've gotten some structure on the weekly chart, I want to dive into the daily chart. I want to look at targets. If this doesn't happen and support holds, then what do targets to the upside look like? And I want to look at Cardano ADA charts as well. This is a weekly, but I want to dig into the daily to look at targets to the upside and downside. We are entering, I would say, probably a pretty volatile week or two. We have the interest rate decision in a couple of days. So hit the subscribe and like on the way in. Let's jump into the video. If you're not in our intelligence system with our risk models, please hit the link below. It's a free trial right now. Go get access to our risk models. If you're a macro investor, start planning based off of these proprietary risk models, your exits. Do not round trip this bull cycle. This is a chart that I did in December 2018, the bear market low. I show this sometimes, but as we start this analysis, I want to make a very important point. I did the video back then. We didn't hit exact targets like $90,000 all-time high last cycle, but it's just this general story of higher highs and higher lows. Higher high bull markets, higher low bear markets, the crypto space growing. This has been my thesis for years as I've done this content, and probably yours as well as we've been in this space. The reason I'm bringing this up is because when we start zooming in, we go look at the altcoin market cap chart, for instance. It's the same story there. I'm incredibly bullish on altcoins. There is so much in store when it comes to higher highs and higher lows. We're just testing the bull market breakout right now, the all-time high area right now. But put aside this macro higher high, higher low story, I also like to track the zoomed in, the shorter term or midterm pumps, shorter term to midterm capitulations. So keep in mind, as I go through this analysis, I'm very macro minded. I'm a macro bull, as you know, if you've been watching my YouTube channel over the years. And this is something that has played out very nicely over the years. If you go back to any chart in 2018, you know, the bear market low of 2018, this has been playing out very nicely. So as we start this zoomed in analysis, please keep that in mind. Let's start with Ethereum. I want to play a quick clip. This is from September 7th, just about a week ago. Check it out. And it kind of all, for me in the shorter term, relies on this. We are between the 50 and the 20. This is the area that we kind of anticipate the consolidation in this area. We're there right now. It happened back here for a higher low, and we continued. Is it about to happen here for continuation? I don't know. I'm obviously very aware and very kind of mindful and waiting for a move to the downside to the actual triangle. So basically in that clip, two areas, and I know I have a messy chart right now because I left some of the scribbles up, but two areas that I'm watching on Ethereum. These are really the two areas that matter for me right now. Number one, if you see these two lines, that is, and now it's moved up and they're compressing the 50 in blue, the 20-day moving average in green. So let me get rid of these yellow lines. That's number one, the shorter term, the support. We had this first area of support all in this range. We pumped to the upside. We put in a lower high, and now we're kind of coming back down. We have an interest rate decision coming up very soon. These are the headlines right now. Trump predicts big cut in interest rates this week. I'm curious if, you know, for something like an Ethereum price action chart, like if it's a quarter point versus a half a point, will price action operate drastically? Or even if we get either one, will price action be similar? Now, if you remember, if we go back and we look at just Ethereum charts, for instance, and we kind of go to the weekly, I just want to point out to you, sometime in September, we had an interest rate decision. I think we pumped and then we crashed. And then we were basically sideways. So there was basically weeks of just sideways. I want to bring that up as we're kind of evaluating the Ethereum charts. But here are targets depending on how markets move or are manipulated this week. Here are targets to the upside and downside for Ethereum. So, and by the way, the second, besides this range of support, the second range of support is the throwback to that multi-year triangle. So I kind of talked about that in the opening of the video. This is very much in play. I continue to say that's in play. That is not because I'm bearish. It's just a normal move. It's a technical setup that has taken years to get here, meaning we get the breakout. This has become a busted pattern. And now a throwback to the apex would be normal. It's not guaranteed, but it's in play. So those are our two areas of support. We still have support around the 50-day to around $4,200. And if we get that nice support, maybe we fall in the coming days to that area. Interest rate stuff is going on. People are speculating. The decision comes out and then boom, we start breaking out. Well, what's happening at the apex of really this new structure that's happened on Ethereum? We have a target of around 5,800 to the upside. And then we have a target of around 3,600, 3,700 to the downside. And that would be our throwback target. So continuation target. And this isn't like overnight, right? This could be choppy how this happens. We could just, boom, we're throwing back. It's still late September and we're not even that much higher than where we are today, right? But this would be the general target for Ethereum. And the same thing can happen to the downside, right? We just trickle down and it can be like October and we're finally hitting 3,700. People are bearish. These are the targets. This is the setup. The structure, the consolidation is really starting to form right now. So that's what I would be tracking for Ethereum. Volatility for sure. Either way, I'm not here to predict what is going to happen. Nobody knows. But I am here to anticipate. The question is, as we sit right at the apex of this triangle, are you ready for a $5,700 Ethereum? Even if you don't hold it, what does it mean for other altcoins that are pumping? And at the same time, as we trade here, are you ready for a $3,700 Ethereum? That's it. Be ready. And so if we go to a Cardano chart, I want to mention something to you, and we're going to look at the targets on the ADA daily, but I really do want to mention something to you on the weekly. And I might do a more full video on ADA to discuss this. But right now, the chart is so frustrating. I get it. There are so many things that I could break down that are frustrating about this chart. But I do want to mention something. The price action, the movement, the structure of the chart right now is not bad. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was looking at the momentum oscillators for Cardano. And even just right here, this RSI, the slower moving momentum oscillator, with this squeezing of price action, it's almost just like it's trying to trend up, but it's having trouble. The price isn't doing anything, it feels like, for months. I want to just show you that this is exactly what happened last cycle. Look at this mess. That's months. And it's below the 20-week moving average. But there's this like trending up. It's like it wants to break out. And then it actually was sideways again right after a little pump, sideways again. But just this area back here on the Cardano charts is very similar to what is taking place right now. And you can even see a little bit of higher high, higher low on the RSI. Same thing here, a little bit of higher high, higher low on the RSI. And then the MACD getting squeezed, the MACD back here getting squeezed. So please keep in mind, though there's not been the massive breakout, right? There's not been, if I remove this, the breakout even to $1.25 through the bull market doors. Right now, we can anticipate downside targets if it happens. But right now, the kind of consolidation and the way in which price action is operating for Cardano is showing signs of bullishness, even if it doesn't seem like it. Let's go look at the short term. So again, no clue how this week is going to play out. These weeks tend to be very volatile either way. But here are the targets for Cardano. We have a nice structured move for Cardano on the daily chart, kind of this wedge of higher highs, higher lows. This pattern that you see here, and I think over the years I've probably talked about it most on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin is in kind of this bull environment, this is like the best pattern. It really is. So often it looks bearish, right? It's just kind of like higher highs, higher lows, boom, it's definitely going to fall. But in a bull move, it tends to just surprise people. And this is something I've seen on the Bitcoin charts, and this is where I've mentioned it. But right now, here's Cardano. This could be a breakout to the downside, maybe a fake breakout for a busted pattern. It could be a breakout to the downside where we make our way to the target. It's around 64 cents. To the upside, first off, the upper trend line around $1, $1.05, $1.06. That's the target to the upside. Now, the target of a breakout through this pattern, if things get bullish for altcoins, we're looking at around $1.50 Cardano. It might be hard to believe, but when the move happens, it could happen quickly. And I just wanted to lay these targets out there for you. This is not to say that anybody has any idea which targets will be hit on Cardano, which targets will be hit on Ethereum, but it is to say that we should be ready for all scenarios as we enter this volatile week. So I'm very bullish on the crypto market as I was in the bear market lows of 2018. I think we have so much upside in store for us. It's just a matter of patience. So I wanted to start this week kind of with some general technical analysis. If you found any value from this video, please subscribe, hit that like. And if you're not in our intelligence system, please click the link below. Check out all of the tools that we have back there so that you can plan for this cycle. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.